You know what it is. It's the Sizzle, the podcast. Oh, baby, we're giving you the hot sizzle, the talk of the 219, all sports, all talk. It's hot, right out the kitchen, fresh out the kitchen. Jay Kevin, what's good, bro?
I am feeling fantastical. It is a couple of days before Turkey Day, and I got my bowl of gravy all ready for my mashed taters.
Mashed taters? What else?
Oh, mashed taters, man. I'm going to have me some mashed taters, some dressing, not stuffing. We don't do no stuffing around here.
Hey, man, look, man, there is nothing wrong with a little stuffing. Stuffing is good for you. It's good for me. It's good for everyone.
Look, you keep your chestnuts roasted in the open fire, but you don't have your chestnuts in my dressing. I don't want to eat your nuts in my dressing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody wants nuts in their dressing, Jay.
I think we better start this show.
Okay. Let's get ready to start the show.
Yeah.
You know what it is. We're getting ready to do it sizzle style. So let me ask you something, Jay. Have you been watching your Chicago Bulls?
My Chicago Bulls, yeah, I've been watching them.
How's that going for you?
Oh, my God. You know, if it's anybody but the Pistons, but if they play any team with any type of actual NBA talent on it, the Bulls don't look so swell.
Big fail.
Yes, it's been an epic fail this whole season. And maybe I'm too close to it. Maybe I don't know, man. I feel like they're just losers.
Is that your take?
Yeah.
Was that your three-line take?
You are one pathetic loser.
I feel like
Is that your three-line take?
They're losers, and there is no stopping their losingness.
You know, look, let me tell you what's so bad. They got Carmelo Anthony pumped up.
Right.
4th game of the year for him. And what did he go for, 25 or something? Something incredible?
Yeah, that's how I felt when I saw the game. It was horrifically bad. It was bad to a whole nother level of bad. But wait, don't just take my word for it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how bad it was.
Zach actually responded to that meeting today,
Yep.
and then some.
Yeah, well, I've always said Zach's a really good guy and a good person. He wants to do well. He wants to help the team. I've said this to you guys since I've gotten the job. You know, my job is to try to push a guy to a place he can't take himself. And, you know, that happens sometimes with tough conversations in a meeting and maybe some uncomfortable moments. That's what my job is. That's what our job is. But the credit needs to go to him.
Okay, all right. Can you analyze your head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Jim Boylen?
That was just a rah-rah, six-spoon bar, a whole bowl of nothing right there. What's that? I mean, that really just sounded like, oh, he's a really good guy and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
What difference does that make?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because right after Zach LaVine was benched,
Yeah.
after a pathetic missed assignment, he was just horrible in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He's benched. Then he comes back out against the Charlotte Hornets, puts together the most epic comeback win of all time, where he got 49 points. Then he goes up against the Portland Trailblazers.
A real NBA team.
And gets mollywopped.
You know.
Mollywopped by, you know who?
Who?
Carmelo Anthony.
Airstrike standing by.
Yeah, he was just balling out of control. But a lot of it has to do with, man, how the Bulls are playing defense. It's ridiculous. They're playing a defense. They're double teaming hard on the ball all the time, and they're in constant rotations. So nobody gets a chance to play their man head up, and they're just getting ate up on the backside with layups on the backside, easy 2 dribble jump shots right in rhythm, and that's why you saw Carmelo get off. Look, you got to make Carmelo drive to the basket. You can't let Carmelo sit out there and shoot these jumpers. He's going to kill you. He's still old school. He still knows how to shoot. He didn't forget that.
Okay, are you telling me then that the Bulls had a chance?
Now, with this defense they're playing now.
Okay, so what defense are they playing?
The Bulls are playing a high trapping defense. They're trapping the ball, trying to get the ball to move around and trying to upset the shooters so people can't shoot in rhythm. What's happening is, though, they have a bunch of guys right now playing this system who can't play the system. They're not quick enough to play the system. They can't close out. Zach LaVine is not a good one-on-one ball hawk out there. He's not that type of guy. And so now you're putting these guys in bad positions. All of a sudden, now you got a mouse in the house on these rotations. They're just getting abused.
What about your back-end help? What about that rim support that was supposedly that vaunted rim support?
Sometimes that vaunted rim support is out on the perimeter because they're closing out on everything. I mean, they're literally it's all hustle what they're going on right now. I think they believe this is not the NBA and these guys aren't going to figure out that if you're doubling me this high off on the ball that somebody on the backside is going to be open, and we know how to get that ball to that backside. And against good teams, the Bulls are just getting abused, and that's what's happening. Even though they're like 14th in the league in defense right now, and they're number one, I think, in causing turnovers, but they're also ranked one of the worst teams out there in transition defense. So it's when they get against bad teams, they look decent, and when they get against good teams, Carmelo goes off for 25. Look, Carmelo, one thing Carmelo is always able to do, and we know this from watching Carmelo for a lot of years, Carmelo was always able to get to his spot. If he got to his spot, he was going to abuse you. We knew that as it is. Nobody ever said Carmelo wasn't a guy who couldn't play in the NBA. The question was he going to give up more points than what he made? Now, let's see if Carmelo can keep doing this against teams who are going to play him in the correct way, where they're going to make Carmelo move off the ball. They're going to make Carmelo try to put the ball down the basket and drive to the rim. You saw what happened to when he took on Giannis. You saw that when he got denied at the rim. Ain't no more hops no more on them 35-year-old legs. There wasn't that many hops from the beginning, but it definitely ain't none now. But Carmelo could still shoot the basketball. And that's one thing the Bulls did not defend well, and Carmelo torched them.
Do you want to hear some sound from the game?
Sure, let's hear it.
Okay, well, mad shout out to the House of Highlights, really doing some good work and putting in some work. But let's just go through a sound pictorial of the night Carmelo Anthony had, a 25-point night against the Bulls.
You're going to get three. Good weak side board. Good outside. There's Carmelo Anthony to knock down that triple.
Dame gets low. Get that shoulder underneath. Has longer hair than that.
That's right. That's Coby White out there. It's a play. Wendell Carter with a rejection. Carmelo takes it back. Outside again will clear it. Whiteside averaging 12 boards a game. Carmelo again attacks the rack and rolls one up and in despite resistance from LaVine. Bulls number one in forcing turnovers, just under 19 a game. Blazers turn it over 14 times a game. Carmelo, one dribble pull-up, sticks a baseline Jimmy. Lillard surveys, swings in the corner. Carmelo caught it low, brought it high, drills another one. Carmelo.
So Carmelo Anthony was doing what he wanted, when he wanted, all day, all night. What do you say?
If you listen to that whole clip, and he's like he's at practice, he's going to torch you. And for 25, Carmelo got 25.
You know, the sad part is he looked like Hoodie Mello out. It was that bad.
Yeah.
It was just like there was a summer league, rec league pickup game, and they were just there for practice. I don't know if they were playing. It was just bad. It was bad all the way around, even though there were glimpses, but still you have those moments when you thought to yourself, this can't be a team that thinks not only are they going to the playoffs, they believe that they're going to be great as the year goes on. I don't see how the only team you can, as you said, to your point, was the Bulls. I mean, the Pistons, which is like Bulls light. What do you do?
Look, the Bulls, 36% of their shots allowed have come from 0 to 3 feet.
What?
36% of the shots that go in against the Bulls come between 0 and 3 feet. That is the worst in the league, without a doubt the worst in the league. So what does that tell you? That backside rotation is not getting there. They're getting killed with layups. They're getting killed with bunnies. And you look at this lead that just expanded so rapidly before. Look, Jim Boylen, I think, is 7 minutes left in the game, and he start pulling his starters. That's how bad they were getting ran out to Jim. You know, and this is going to continue to go on playing this type of defense. It's ridiculous.
An idiot.
I don't know how else can you say it?
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do. I think they're really trying to do is high school hustle type basketball. You know, where guys used to play the diamond in one, and they just have the one guy running around all over the court chasing the ball wherever it went. And that don't work in the NBA. That don't work in the NBA.
Come on!
That I can't do this foolishness with you. I can't do the why Jim coach, which is Jim Boylen. I can't keep doing this. Well, I knew somebody who won a championship. So therefore, I'm a great coach because I sat near his cousin and his uncle played as a championship player on the team with a really good coach. That's who I am.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. The Bulls played 4 of their guards in the fourth quarter, and they allowed 41 points in the fourth.
Okay. I don't. Wait a minute. I can't say it again and enough. I can't say it enough.
An idiot.
I can't. There's no other way, man. I mean, how do you just keep...
And this went over and over and over again. This is their defensive philosophy now.
What is their
To go and trap high on the ball. Look how many, you can count how many times with 10 seconds left in the clock, they're running up and trying to trap high with the ball up high. Well, if you're trapping ball up high.
Pathetic loser.
Right. If you're trapping high like that, then what's going to happen? Somebody's loose down below. But 10 seconds is an eternity in NBA basketball. They can move the ball and find the open player.
I don't know what else to say. I really don't. Because I don't see. And here's the sad part. Here's where, again, the problem comes and lies in that you were sold a bill of goods at the beginning of the season where you were told this is a playoff caliber team. We're going to the playoffs. We're going to be great. We're going to do all the things that great teams do. And then this is the effort you get night after night after night. And I imagine it's very frustrating for someone like, let me ask you this, Chet.
Sure.
Let me ask you that. From what you've observed for the past 3 seasons now, with Zach LaVine, 2.5, 2.25. Is Zach LaVine the leader that he's built?
You can't lead, man, when one day you're going 13-17 for a career high 49 against Charlotte, and then you're going 1 for 5 for 3-pointers with 18 in Chicago. There's got to be some balance there. I mean, there was never a point in time in this game you thought Zach LaVine was just going to go off.
Okay, is that a function more of who he is as a player or what they're requiring from him as a player?
Look, first thing, Zach LaVine shouldn't be your go-to guy.
Okay.
Zach LaVine's your piece. He's a piece of the puzzle. Now, he can't be the major piece of the puzzle.
All right, so if he's not the go-to guy, who's your go-to guy?
Like I just said, I don't think he's on the Bulls right now.
What about Coby White?
Coby White's not your go-to guy. Coby White is your guy who you're going to have to play. Look, I'd rather see a boatload of Coby White and Zach LaVine playing. Give the rookie time to develop because you're not going anywhere, especially with this defense you're running. I don't know what this Harry High School defense you're running. You got to give Coby White opportunity to develop. Look at Trae Young in Atlanta, right? I'm not saying Coby White is Trae Young, but you got to put him out. Remember when Trae Young first got in, people started saying, he might be a bust. Right. He looked good, but people are like, ha, he. And nobody's ha, and he. And now Trae Young is putting the absolute business to you because he's been able to play and able to develop.
Right. If Trae Young, if his handles were better, because he has such a high turnover rate, if that usage rate was a little bit better, Trae Young would be undoubtedly up in there with the top 10 point guards in the league.
Well, I think all that's going to come with time, with just knowledge on how to play the game. I mean, the NBA game is a lot different than any other form of basketball played around the world. And so now he's understanding where he's vulnerable at. He's understanding where he doesn't put himself in those bad positions. And so you're starting to see Trae Young's game mature. And you start seeing him get more confident. Why? Because he's figured it out. He only needs to be able to get to 3 or 4 places on the floor. That's all he needs. He don't need to be playing for all over the floor. He needs to play in 3 or 4 places around the floor. He's going to get his shot over and over and over again, and that's why you see him exploding like that.
Okay, so talk to me about what you see from Wendell Carter. Do you see him as a piece? Is he the Elton Brand?
No.
Is he the Al Horford as he was billed to be?
Oh no. He's not that.
Then what is he?
He's Wendell Carter with the junior on the end of it. I mean, look, I like the guy. But again, these are pieces.
Okay.
This is a guy who should be coming off the bench. This is your seventh player, your second big man coming in on a really good team. That's what he is. This is not your starter, your end all be all. This just isn't that guy. And so now you're looking at the Bulls, who've got a lot of bench players playing starting roles for him right now. I mean, look, between Zach LaVine and White, Chris Dunn, God knows what you're going to get with Chris Dunn. So you have to give guys opportunity to play. Can Wendell Carter develop? Does he have a jumper? That's the thing about it right now. Does he have a midi? Because you got to have a midi in this game, especially as a big man. If you don't have a midi in this game as a big man, if you can't step out and make people play. Look at the Gasol brothers. Right, they're a little taller than he is, but look what they're able to do from the 3-point range. Leave them alone out here. They're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. They're going to take those shots. That's what the big man is right now. He's going to drag you out to the 3-point line. If you're not coming out there, he's going to let it fly. So are you comfortable with Wendell Carter taking jump shots out of the 3-point line?
Are they allowing these players to shoot the midi? I know we've talked about it, and it was brought up that Zach LaVine was told they only want him out 20 feet, 22. Well, they want him out.
The problem is, look, you saw D'Antoni do the same exact thing. You know, when he's coaching, that I'm just going to try to outscore you. Right. It's a better percentage-wise, the 3-point shot is a better percentage shot for us to the amount of times we're getting shots up. But the Bulls don't have sharpshooters like that. They just don't have them. And so you got to play that little midi game. You can drop points all day long with that little midi game. The good teams do it. You see LeBron even shooting the midi when he gets opportunity to do so. So when you get opportunity to play that type of game, you got to play that type of game. You got to manufacture points. The Bulls just aren't manufacturing points, and then they're getting trashed on defense. They've had 100 points scored on them many times this year. That shouldn't happen with a team that's trying to make the playoffs.
All right, well, let me ask you then, let's bring it back to the main person. Let's bring it down front to the person this really is all centered around, and that's Lauri Markkanen. What is Lauri Markkanen? Is he the centerpiece of it? Is he just a guy? What is he in terms of where the Bulls' progression will go from this point going forward?
Man, Lauri Markkanen is a pretty girl that you took out and then you got her home. You know, that's what Lauri Markkanen is. You know, he's still look good, but he just don't look as good when them lights was dim. You know, it's not as pretty. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like you make a left turn around the corner because your boys is around the right corner. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them type of situations. So Lauri Markkanen, but they're stuck with Lauri Markkanen. You know, where's Lauri Markkanen going? Where he going? It's an epic fail.
I don't know what is he? Is he a 4? Is he a 5? Is he a really tall 3?
I think he's a slow 3.
Okay.
Who cannot punish you from the 3-point line like he needs to be able to. They were hoping he was going to be Larry Bird-ish, something like that, where he was they were hoping he was going to be Tony Kukoc-ish. You know, they was hoping that he's going to be that Finnish, because he's a Finnish guy. You know, they got the Euro game.
The finisher.
Yeah, and they thought he was going to be that guy, and he's just not that guy because he's not strong around the basket. And you got to be able to get your own rebound. You got to be able to put the ball up around the basket. He's just not. Even Tony Kukoc was stronger around the basket than this guy is. Right. And Kukoc had a much better game than he does. Kukoc could bring the ball up, dish the ball off at his size. He could do a whole bunch. You'll see Lauri Markkanen breaking people down from the wing. You don't see that happening. That's why his game is what it is right now.
So what is his game?
His game. Look, he's a get out there, kick it around to somebody else. Hope somebody else takes the shot. He's gonna take the shot when he's wide open. He can't manufacture his own shot. Every once in a while, you see him taking it to the rim. You know, and every once in a while he explodes. But you know, he has the ability to do that, but he doesn't have the ability to be consistent, and that's the biggest problem.
So, is there anyone on this team, as it's presently constructed, that you think is a building block piece for the future?
I mean, the Bulls got jacked up, man, in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Their hopes were one of those 4 guys up top, and they didn't get one of them. And they got Coby White, which I like him. I think he's going to be a pretty good ball player. You got to play him though. But is there anybody on this team right now that you're going to say is going to be a perennial All-Star?
No.
That's the question. And in this league, you need a couple of perennial All-Stars.
Let me give you their next 5 games. They will be playing. Now, this is how it goes. They're going out west for a few games. They're going to play the Warriors.
Uh-huh.
They're going to go back and play the Trailblazers, the Kings. They'll be home for the Grizzlies, and then the Warriors are coming here. That's before they meet with the Heat and the Raptors, the Hawks, Hornets, and then the Clippers.
And the whole thing about this, you think those Warriors win. Those Warriors, you should be a W's against those Warriors. But I'm going to tell you what, the Warriors are going to play better as the season comes along. And, they're going to be a tough team to beat later on.
I don't even know if you can look at that Grizzlies game as a win.
Yeah.
So I don't, going into the week, you don't know what they're going to be. By this time next week, let's say by Monday of let's see, December 9th, let's project it out. By the time they face the Rob, they could have lost all of the games they've had.
Right. Let me give you a telling stat against Lauri Markkanen right now. Let me tell you what your superstar, all-star, super forward / guard is doing for you right now. Okay. Right now, as we're seeing projected in this season stats, he's averaging 13.6 points a game. Right. He's tied for 82nd in the NBA. 82nd in the NBA. 7.1 rebounds per game. He's tied for 39th. Assists 1.7.
Wait, okay, he's had one where he's had 7 assists?
1.7 assists he's averaged over these games. That puts him below the 150th player in the NBA.
Okay, yes. Well, yes. I don't even know what to say. Because really, are you talking about a true NBA player now when you see these kind of numbers and you see this kind of inefficiency? And as a head coach, if you see this type of inefficiency, don't you go to rectify it? Don't you make some corrective changes to offset what's going on? Because what's going on right now is tomfoolery.
Yeah. It's just bad. It's just so bad right now.
And there's no answer. There's no help coming.
Oh, no. Custer has lost. I mean, Custer is waving a bull flag right now, and he's not no help is coming to conference.
He said, I'm out.
I'm out.
I can't do this anymore.
What
about the return of Otto Porter?
Look, Otto Porter's a solid pro, but again, I mean, all these guys they picked up, these guys are solid pros, but again, these guys are pieces. There's not one player on the Bulls that you'll say can replace your top teams in the NBA. Let's go to your top teams in the NBA, right? Can the Bulls replace any one of the Bulls, replace any of the starting 5 on the Lakers?
No, not at all.
Clippers?
No. Whoever
Milwaukee?
You're going to say, no. Not top teams.
Not top teams.
Even some bottom feeders, they couldn't replace.
I'm just saying. So that's where you are right now. I mean, you have a bunch of guys starting for your team that could not start. We don't have one player on this Bulls roster right now that could start for any of the top 5 teams in the league right now at any position.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Before we get ready to get out of here, wrap this up. What has John Paxson, along with his sidekick and guard Foreman, what have they really put together?
They put together a hope for a high lottery pick. They dumped all those games to have a chance to win one of these top 4 picks, and they didn't get it. And now you have Coby White, who's going to be a good player in the NBA. I really think he's going to be. But is he going to be a great player in the NBA? Look, from 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, you got to be projected as a great player. The Bulls missed out by 1. So at this point in time, look, you got Satoransky in here, all right? What was he? He was a stabilizing force. Why do you need a stabilizing force on the Bulls? Why do you need that? Why do you have veterans like Chris Dunn who still are so hit and miss on this team right now? And why is he still here? That's the whole question I got to ask. Why is Chris Dunn still here? Why didn't they move him a couple of years ago when some people wanted him? Now you can't get a basketball for him and a Benny the Bull t-shirt.
Are you serious?
I mean, and I'm not disparaging against Chris Dunn. What I'm saying is that he is so hit or miss. He's a microwave. Sometimes you're going to get him and he looks fantastic, and other times you get him and your popcorn's burnt. That's just what it is.
So Chris Dunn is burned popcorn.
Look, okay. Have you ever punched? You be on different microwaves and you punch the popcorn button and your popcorn come out perfect. And then you go to another microwave, put in the same amount of time and your popcorn get burned up. You just don't know which microwave Chris Dunn is using that day. You just don't know. When he's the right guy, it's on and popping. But when he's on, it's burnt.
Okay. You know what? I guess that's where we have to leave. That's where we have to leave it. The Bulls are burnt popcorn.
Yeah. And then when you open up the bag, you know how the smoke comes off and set off your smoke detector?
Yeah.
Woo! That one? Yeah, that's what we got going on.
I can't.
The Bulls are on fire. We don't need no water. We're going to let this one burn. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, J. Kevin, leave the people with something, man.
Look, man, don't burn your popcorn on Thanksgiving. Peace out.
Peace out. Hey, you know what? You know what it is. You know what we do. It's the Sizzle, bringing you the hottest takes. Always. It's the Sizzle Podcast. You know where to catch us. You know what it is. Yo, we'll holler at you later. And remember, live your truth. You know what we do. We sizzle.